morning. Welcome to the Howdy Boomy podcast. Today is Tuesday, the 20th of February. I hope you have a great day going. It's going to be interesting. I have a couple questions. Being a baby boomer and coming into a political season, I remember you had to be 21 to vote in a national election. They changed that in the 70s, I believe, but you had to be 21. And the first gentleman I voted for was a Democrat. I am a Chicago Democrat, Hubert Humphrey, for President of the United States. Now, at that time, you had to register once you became 18 years of age for the Selective Service System. That means you were eligible to be drafted by the Army. Vietnam was going hot and heavy at the time, so all of the colleges were jammed with students. Not that they really wanted to be there, but getting a 2S deferment on your selective service classification allowed you to go to school rather than be inducted into the Army. So you were avoiding going into the Army because you did not want to go to Vietnam. Now they don't have that. They don't have that overhanging a youth trying to make decisions on his future. But what it did is it focused you on what was going on. At this generation now, they would rather listen to what Taylor Swift said than what Joe Biden or Donald Trump says. That's puzzling to me. I just don't understand that. The threat or the specter of having public service or military service is no longer there. And what's going on in the world today with Afghanistan, with our borders, with Israel, can truly be deadly, especially when you have the alliance of the Chinese, the Russians, the Iranians, the North Koreans going up against us and making progress because they know we have a weak leader. It's important to bring these facts to the voting public that is 18 years old and above. I hope both parties do that. And you wonder because if a president of the United States doesn't have the capabilities to sit down for an interview during Super Bowl, how's he going to function in the White House when decisions have to be made of a nuclear attack or border security? Democrats are petrified of Joe Biden running, not because they disagree with his policies as much as they're afraid he will lose to Donald Trump. He's beatable because it looks like he's a doddering old fool. He has weaponized the Department of Justice, where he will not be prosecuted for the classified documents fiasco in his garage, unlocked, unguarded, as opposed to Mar-a-Lago. But Donald Trump is being politically, financially assassinated with the go-ahead of the White House. So it's going to be interesting to see how these parties get the word out to a classification of voters who basically have no clue, no earnest interest. They don't have any money in the game. You often wonder how the voting public is going to react, especially when we're being invaded on our borders. They just showed hundreds of ID cards from Chinese people who are getting asylum in Mexico, but going over a border in California with no fences, no anything. No razor wire. They're throwing their IDs on the ground because they're useless in the United States, and they're invading our country. China, one of our enemies. That's what's happening at our borders, which is more important now than anything, because now here in the state of New York, our Governor Kathy Hochul is okaying legislation where all these illegal aliens are going to get about $5,000 a month. Think about that. Money that could be going to U.S. citizens, money that could be going to better our cities, are going to go to people who get here illegally. What kind of insanity is that? We need to get back to sanity, both in the White House and on the local level. I have a lot of questions. It's a short show. I want to keep your attention. Watch the Howdy Boomy podcast on YouTube. Every day, it's brief. It'll make you think. Make sure you go out and vote. YouTube, Howdy Boomy channel. God bless you. God bless America.